I told you, you'd die for that.
Flexing is to superheroes what dancing is to Bully Maguire. Whether it's Hulk with his smashing or Wolverine with his eternal sass, we've been treated to some amazing moments on screen and we just can't get enough of them. All the love you've been giving on these videos. The TV Regent's all about building volumes of content for devoted fans like you, so I'm back with Volume 3.
You're immortal! How?
You said it yourself. We're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Here's an MCU franchise that I still have high hopes for. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was an underdog that won all of our hearts. The comedy was spot on and relevant.
Don't push this button.
I'm Groot.
No! No, that's the button that will kill everyone!
Unlike most of the woke nonsense streaming on Disney Plus nowadays. Yeah, I'm looking at you, She-Hulk.
To use it to completely heal my arm.
Because I'm better than you?
Just shut the f*** up!
Anyway, Ronan gets bamboozled by Peter Quill when he does that weird dance-off, so he must pay the ultimate price by facing the wrath of the Power Stone. Of course, Star-Lord's got to give us another one-liner, and oh boy, he sure makes it count. Look, I know Ronan isn't a superhero, but you could say that each of the Guardians were flexing on each other by adding their powers to control the stone. Also, I've got to say, I was really impressed to see such a badass moment in an otherwise hilarious film. I guess that's what happens when the scripts are written by people who know how to respect the source material, eh? Take note, Witcher writers.
Peter Jason Quill from Terra.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Now because your friend murdered my father, so I ask you, as both warrior and king, how long do you think you can keep your friend safe from me?
Wakanda Forever might be doing okay at the box office, but come on guys, there can only be one Black Panther, and that's the king himself, T'Challa.
And as you can see, I am not dead!
Chadwick Boseman was an amazing addition to the MCU, and it's sad that he had to leave us at such a young age. Rest in power, man. I always find myself going back to some of his best scenes during his time as the Black Panther, and one flex that comes to mind is when he's ordering Steve Rogers to hand over the Winter Soldier to him in Captain America's Civil War. I mean, the man has his reasons, right? The dude literally killed his father, but of course, Steve has to play spoilsport because morality or something like that. The King of Wakanda rightly decides to cement his dominance by raising a simple question.
How long do you think you can keep your friend safe from me?
I'm pretty sure Chris Evans was pissing his pants when he heard T'Challa's threat. Well, at least he is still America's butt.
We haven't met yet. I'm Clint.
I don't care.
Let's put our cards on the table here, General.
You're scared of me because you can't control me. You don't. And you never will.
It's no secret that Superman is among my most loved DC characters of all time. He's an obvious choice for many, but it still takes a lot of talent to portray him on screen, and that's exactly why Henry Cavill has been brought back to don the iconic blue latex. Or black, I guess it depends on whether Zack Snyder gets to decide the final cut. Now, it's straightforward. Superman loves to flex. We've all seen it multiple times, but there's this one moment where he calmly owns Martian Manhunter, who's disguised as General Swanwick. Basically, Kal-El reminds the General that there are no cuffs on Earth that can control him. Everything about Clark Kent's performance here is simply mwah. He gives us a restrained speech that perfectly cements how awesome he is, and the best part is that even after he breaks the cuffs with zero effort, Superman still surrenders to the humans.
But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy.
I saw quite a few similarities between this scene and Tony Stark's epic speech in Iron Man 2.
She was my world, and you took her from me.
I accept your surrender. Anyone else?
This is one movie that you won't see me mention a lot, but hey, I've got to give credit where it's due. Thor: The Dark World was a missed opportunity, especially if you consider dark elves, but that's not what I want to show you today. The scene in question is when Thor and Sif are fighting in Vanaheim and the God of Thunder is presented with a giant stone monster. Look, we all know what Chris Hemsworth is capable of when he's got Mjolnir in his hand, but Sif somewhat challenges him to prove his worthiness.
All yours.
That is a big mistake. She immediately has to eat her words because the God of Thunder channels his inner Saitama and takes down the stone monster with a simple hammer smash. One Punch Man, you say? I'll gladly take one Smash Man over that. Actually, no wait, that doesn't sound right either, does it?
human handshake to the Asgardian shake, into the snake that you cannot trust.
Really dragging this out.
And finish the classic Asgardian high one.
Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned.
You want forgiveness? Get religion.
And it's one of the most genuinely hilarious fight scenes I've ever seen in a Marvel movie, and that's why this is my favourite film from Phase 4 of the MCU. The cherry on the cake is when Peter reminds Mr. Octavius that he's the one in control.
I'm in control, buddy.
It's one of the few times I approve of a Gen Z kid outsmarting a boomer. Also, I know Doc Ock is technically a villain, but he turns into a hero later on in the movie, so yeah, you know it still counts.
All right, what's that thing you always say? Expect disappointment.
No. We're gonna f some ass.
Some ass. That ass.
You want to know what else counts? Liking, sharing, and subscribing ASAP. Come on, do it. Do it now.
Who's the furball?
Henry, this is Logan. He's,
Wolverine. I hear you're quite an animal. Look who's talking.
If you're wondering where Hugh Jackman was hiding, then don't worry, he's not being held up at Ryan Reynolds' apartment, he's right here in my top 5. Wolverine is an elite king of sass, and I've mentioned time and again why he's the real reason anti-heroes are so well appreciated in comic book movies. Now, for a mutant like Logan to achieve legendary status, he needs to put the work in, and we see him at his savage best when he has a little chat with Beast in X-Men The Last Stand.
Who's the furball?
I'm sure nobody appreciates being called a furball, but come on, bro. Did you really think Logan wasn't going to reply if you called him an animal? Your mutant name is Beast. Think, Hank. Think.
Why is he bothering you after all these years?
Because I'm the best there is at what I do. But what I do best isn't very nice.
You're not an animal, Logan. What you have is a gift.
Gift. You can return a gift.
Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
2012 sure seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? It was back when the MCU finally established itself as a commercial juggernaut. The catalyst for that revolution was the first Avengers movie, and while some of its plot lines may not have aged well with certain fan bases, I'd still say it's way better than anything we've seen post No Way Home. One of the highlights of this movie was seeing Mark Ruffalo's version of Bruce Banner.
Smash.
It might have been a controversial choice at first, but his portrayal of the character really reminded us of how tormented he is. Also, this was way back when the Hulk was scary and not some selfie-taking softie. Anyway, Captain America's a little worried that a freaking Leviathan is coming towards them, but Bruce simply reveals the secret of his anger management therapy.
I'm always angry.
Remember, this Hulk, who smashes a giant whale monster with just one punch, is the same Hulk who apparently can't even stop a basic Jeep. No, Bruce, I don't see this as an absolute win.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
Before Robert Pattinson traumatized himself with excessive eyeliner, we had Christian Bale portraying the sassiest version of the DC Universe's billionaire hero. Yep, I know there was Batfleck too.
I'm rich.
But he isn't really trending nowadays. Tough times, eh? I still hold pretty sure Mr. Bale was channeling his American Psycho energy for these scenes because the resemblance is uncanny.
I speak for the rest of the board and Mr. Wayne in expressing our own excitement. Bring me Thanos!
Out of all the epic entrances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, none of them will ever hold a candle to Thor's appearance in Avengers Infinity War. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The God of Thunder was kind of humiliated by Thanos in their previous encounter, so you'd imagine he'd be craving for some electric revenge. All it takes for him is to absorb the energy of a dead star, and voila, Stormbreaker is born. This is a scene that's going to forever stay in our memories because it's nothing short of perfection. I mean, everyone was looking at Thor with awe, right from Captain America down to Black Panther.
You guys are so screwed now!
So it really begs the question, why on earth was Thor so jealous of Jane having Mjolnir when he had Stormbreaker right beside him in Love and Thunder? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine.
I told you. You die for that.
I am inevitable. And I
Wakanda Forever isn't a perfect movie, and I'd say one of those shortcomings is Ironheart. Like, why do you want to give us a dollar store version of Iron Man? He's the legend who brought your studio to the highest of highs. However, I'm not here to rant about that. I'm here to appreciate the reason why the MCU became the most successful cinematic franchise of all time. Yes, of course, it's Iron Man. The finale of the Infinity Saga was filled with action, emotion, and most importantly, it had legacy. The legacy of a man who gave children and adults alike the inspiration to become better versions of themselves. Yeah, you heard me. Nobody can replace Iron Man, and nothing will ever top his final words in the MCU.
Iron Man.
It's a bit overwhelming to know that the one line that started off everything,
I am Iron Man,
sadly had to be the same line that ended it. Come on, come back, Tony. They really need you, bro.
Then again, that's the hero gig. Part of the journey is the end. I love you 3000.
Damn, I got a little emotional there, but yeah, let me know if you agree with my picks. You can always check out the description for access to my socials, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright then, I'll see you next time on the TV Region.